Well, greetings and good day, everyone. I'm here at the Rose Hills Memorial Park of Whittier in the Pinecrest Lawns section. It's very close to Gate 1, the entrance. Let's talk about the Reverend Ray Charles Jarman. This guy was born September 2nd, 1895 in Kansas City, Missouri. He used to be God's enemy. God's got a lot of enemies out there. Dr. Jarman was a liberal minister for 52 years, from 1914 until 1966. He flatly rejected the supernatural, even though he was a minister. Actually, you know what? That's probably most ordained ministers. If they don't reject the supernatural, they're at least apathetic toward it. But he flatly rejected the supernatural. He studied Christian Science, unity, theosophy. Even though he was a Disciples of Christ ordained minister, he founded his own church, and he had daily broadcasts and radio in Los Angeles. Now, this was back in the 20s and the 30s. This was the time when Amy Simple McPherson had her program. So Dr. Ray Charles Jarman had his program, and he was spreading his pernicious doctrinal poison. Nothing unusual, nothing very much different from what ministers are typically taught in so many seminaries. The God is Dead movement, if you remember that, I think it was 1966. That started at, I understand it was Colgate University of Rochester, New York. Reverend Ray Charles Jarman was basically teaching against the supernatural, that there was no virgin birth, no resurrection, etc., etc., etc. But then he met God. Until he met God, he considered the Apostle Paul as a liability to Christianity, also not uncommon in churches nowadays. But then some lady named Shannon actually led him to faith in Jesus Christ. He had a deep conversion experience where he was truly sorrowful and sorry for the things that he was teaching for 52 years. And at 70 years of age, he converted to Jesus. A short time later, how God works, huh? A short time later, he got hooked up with the Full Gospel Businessmen's Fellowship International. And he actually decided to go to a Catherine Kuhlman miracle service. This is one of his books, The Grace and the Glory of God. He also wrote Sunrise at Evening about his conversion experience and his personal testimony. Now, he says in page 22 of The Grace and Glory of God that when he went to this Catherine Kuhlman service, somebody in the audience, probably one of Catherine Kuhlman's team members, told her that Ray Charles Jarman was in the audience because she called him out by name. And she said, "Dr. Jarman, where are you? Will you come up here, please?" It kind of shocked him. He didn't even think that anyone knew who he was. He didn't think Catherine Kuhlman knew who he was. But she got the word. I don't think that was a supernatural revelation. I think one of her team members told her. So he did. He came up with another Baptist clergyman. She prayed for him. He got knocked backwards and fell to the ground, as often happened in Catherine Kuhlman's meetings. I went to a Catherine Kuhlman meeting once in 1972. I watched this. And since that time, well, he said that Miss Kuhlman didn't push. No, she didn't push. But since that time, he felt a loving, sweet presence of the Holy Spirit which never left him. So he got on the talk circuit with the Full Gospel Businessmen's Fellowship International. He was on Christian radio. I'm not sure. He was probably a guest on the 700 Club with Pat Robertson. But on page 34 of his book, The Grace and the Glory of God, he talks about one enraged man that said, "Look, I don't know how God could forgive you or save you, because all the people that you led to hell." Dr. Jarman actually had a fairly good response to that. What I'm going to say, I don't want it to sound like I'm against evangelizing or against testifying. I am not. But the power of life and death doesn't rest in any one person, and it certainly didn't rest with Dr. Jarman. And he explained that to the man. He said, look, I was wrong. But my audience basically wanted to hear my gospel. In fact, after his conversion, it didn't take long for his church to get rid of him because they didn't want to hear the gospel. They wanted to hear the positive thinking and other things that didn't involve the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus. I'm going to put a link to his Find a Grave page. It's got a picture of him that was taken in the 60s. Yeah, this guy was a real liberal minister that got converted. I'm going to leave a stone at his grave in his honor. His grave was dirty. I had to clean it off. There. Redeemed and forgiven. Dr. Jarman had sunrise late in his life. Thank you, Dr. Jarman, for your testimony. I hope other liberal ministers that have gone astray do what you did and believe in the real Jesus.